It's almost 2 o'clock in the morning. It's 9:30 in the morning. They're on the way to the MRI. I did not fall asleep last night, so I am a cranky batch this morning. So this was a really good week to film. Because after my MRI this morning, which I chickened out of, I will do a full story time of why I chickened out of. I'm still kind of mad at myself about it. He says to not be mad. I'll tell you the whole story later. And then you can decide whether or not I should be mad at myself. I have another doctor's appointment with my ENT for my tea, my throat. And for insurance reasons, of course, because they want more money out of you. You can't see the same doctor about your nose and your throat in one appointment. You have to see them about your throat in one appointment, your nose in another appointment. So I have to go in for my throat today, and then we get to go back Friday to the same exact building and see the same exact doctor.
Just for her noses.
Yeah, instead of my throat. How ridiculous is that? Just because they want to be able to bill you for 2 appointments instead of 1. Inside of my nostril to numb my nostrils, because apparently they're gonna stick a tube down there. This day is full of experiences, let me tell you that, man. Alright, so we have finally finished with all of our doctor's appointments for the days. We're done fasting, we don't have blood tests or any other types of tests. Big, scary, crappy machine tests. Anyway. We are number 19, yeah! It's my lucky number.
It's a good number.
It is a good number. And we are at Culver's, and we're going to get delicious food.
19.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, have a great day.
You as well, thank you.
If you don't have a Culver's, it's impossible to explain what you're missing if you don't have a Culver's.
Hold on real quick. I just want to point out we got our burgers from Bob.
These are gonna be amazing burgers because Bob made them. There you go, Michaela, that's just for you. I was going to make this a weekly vlog, but I keep just bouncing back and forth between school and the doctor and school and the doctor. I figured that would get boring quickly, so I thought I'd throw in a little bit of the background information. I'm going to start with how I found out. I started a new university that gives you health insurance if you do not already have it. I went to have my school physical, and one of my blood tests came back abnormal. Everything was perfectly fine on it except for the fact that my white count is over 13,000. That is a particularly high white count. My doctor, because this does vary from doctor to doctor, says that it should not be over 10,000. In fact, they would like it around the under 10,000, closer to 9,000 range. After she couldn't figure out why my white count was over 13,000, she wanted me to start seeing specialists. So she sent me to the OBGYN specialist to have a secondary pack done because she didn't really have any other reason for why my white count was over 13,000, because if I had strep or any sort of infection, it should have shown itself in any of the tests that she did. The OBGYN found cancerous growths in my uterus and on my cervix. Coming to you from the future. So I had this video all set, ready to go, just a few days after I made the last one, the introduction video. However, I got some results back from a test, and I had a second opinion on those results, and then I had another test, and then I got another second opinion on that test as well. So I'm going to go ahead and tell you what the second opinion told me, and that is that specifically on my cervix, the cells that we found were the cells that turn into cancer, but not yet cancer. So they told me, though, that it doesn't mean I don't have cancer. However, the cancer they thought I had is not as far along as originally, I guess, the first couple of tests told them it was. I don't know. I'm really fucking confused. So if anybody else has gone through something like this, I would really be appreciative if you could leave in the comments below like a nice long paragraph of your fucking experience. And did doctors fuck you around this much? Is this only America? I feel like part of this is America because they want me to get like 15 different tests, and then first they were telling me that I have cancer, and now they're telling me that, well, you might still have cancer, but the cells we thought were cancer are not quite yet cancer. I don't really know. So that's what's going on. Okay. Everything else in the video is still relevant, but the bit about I have cervical cancer, apparently now that's not actually cancer. It's just the cells that metastasize into cancer. So what I have is severe dysplasia, which is what turns generally into cervical cancer, and if it was slight or mild dysplasia, they most likely wouldn't do anything about it until it became severe. However, with how young I am and the fact that it has already become severe, they want to cut everything out of there so that it doesn't take its next step, which I guess is cancer. So that is fun to know. Oh yeah? Oh, right on top of me? Yep. Okay, we're gonna be a part of the video. Yeah, we don't want to be... Oh, no stepping on the camera arm. I wanted to come to you from the future and let you know that we still don't know what's going on up in my uterus, except that there's a big golf ball up there. They're going to do a DNR for that, which essentially means they're going to scrape out the insides, my insides, and then they're going to test all that. And if any of that comes back with the same cells that my cervix did, and or farther developed cells, then, you know, those are cancerous. And that's when we're going to discuss just cutting out my baby making bits altogether. And yeah, so from the future, here's that update. All right, now back to the video. It wasn't just a woohoo la-di-da-di thing. I went in for several appointments. I had several biopsies, a colposcopy with more biopsies. I had a sonohystogram, and that's how we found out. I have a big old golf ball up in my uterus, and then I have abnormal growths on my cervix. So far, those two are the only type of cancers that we have found, though I have since been referred to an ENT, ear, nose, and throat doctor, because I have, like, you see it a little bit in one of the videos. I go from having a very nice, excellently cut chin to sometimes I'll have like a frog bloat. That is because these things, my adenoids and my tonsils, swell hardcore all of the time. So I was also referred to an ENT to see whether or not there was some sort of infection going on up in there. He has deemed that there is no infection, there are no cancerous growths, there's nothing that really is suspicious that needs to be looked at. The only problem I'm rocking up in there is chronic cryptic tonsillitis. Essentially it means I have groovy tonsils, but not in the groovy way. Like in the actual, my tonsils look like walnuts, alright? Like walnuts before you crack them, with little grooves and things in them, and then food gets stuck in there, and then they get inflamed, and yeah. So, no cancer, just weird little walnut tonsils. I have a very high survival rate. for my cancer like ridiculously high, like 94% or something like that, because worst case scenario, we just cut out my baby making junk, you know? And I'm also okay with that. I've never wanted children. We still don't want children. We have many physical health issues, my husband included, so it's not that we've never wanted like children to possibly grace our home. It's that I don't want to give birth. I'm sorry. Gestating a tiny alien parasite and then literally ripping myself in twain so that I can expel it from my body does not sound like a fun pastime to me. No shade against anybody who's like, I love it and, you know, I'd never change it. That's all you. It just doesn't sound like a fun time to me. It's not something I want to do. I will happily adopt one day if I ever feel like I am responsible enough, secure enough, and mentally stable enough to have children. Until then, I'm perfectly okay with my prognosis and what might actually have to happen to my insides. So, for the emotional bit of it, I'm really not actually experiencing anything too severe, I guess. Like, oh, woe is me, I'm dying. I'm not dying. I just have cancer. There's a difference, you know? So other than the OBGYN who I was referred to, the spinal surgeon, the finger surgeon, which was for something all in the same month. I was diagnosed with cancer, diagnosed with a chronic pain illness, broke my toe, and then broke my finger. This one. This finger. Yeah. So, all in that tiny little span of time, I had to go see a finger surgeon for that broken finger, the spinal surgeon for my fantastic new arthritis-y stuff, woohoo, the OBGYN, and then my regular doctor also, then the ENT also. I still have to go see an allergy specialist because the ENT, though we did not find any cancerous things, did find other things that are a very, very, very severe worry to him, and all up in my sinuses and having to do with my allergies and all of that happy stuff. On the plus side, the discovery of what's going on in my spinal cord, my sinuses, and whatever the fuck's up with my allergies has essentially given a rock-solid answer as to why I have had migraines almost 3 days a week, every week since I was 12. So that's a plus, because now we know how to treat that pain, and I don't have migraines nearly as often anymore. I can now feel, not that I couldn't before, but now I can use the feelings that I get, rather, to determine what's causing it. If it's a buildup here behind the eyes and whatnot, I know that it's a sinus headache and that I'm going to need to take Excedrin for an actual migraine. I know that if it's building from back here, that I need to take ibuprofen because it's actually my arthritis squeezing my cervical nerve, which goes right up into the brain. I'll put a visual somewhere. That is some excellent things that has come from it. Some not so excellent things are, nobody can still understand why my white count is over 13,000. According to my OBGYN, the findings that we have should not be causing that. So besides just being referred to now additionally an allergy specialist, I also have to go see a hematologist who is going to do something called a bone marrow test, and they're going to see whether or not I have cancer there. I also still have to get my mammogram, my MRI, and a separate CT scan. It's just a lot. A lot. And all at once because we just found out. I want to be like, this isn't normal, or it's not always gonna be like this, but when it comes right down to it, I actually don't know. I just found out. You guys know as much as I do, possibly more if you've been through this process, if you know what you're rocking. I can tell you that I'm very sick of being shuffled around from place to place to place. And I can also tell you that every single one of my vlogs will not be about cancer. This is just the first one I've made, because cancer is finally the, like, motivation I need to finally go through with posting videos regularly and not being a lame asshole. You know, not a regular asshole, but a lame one. If you have any questions, go ahead and leave them down in the comments below. Go ahead and like this video if you feel like it. I don't really think it does anything for me yet, but if you do enjoy it, you know, that's always grand. Maybe just if you enjoy me. That might be a long shot. Like avocado, I'm an acquired taste. I say like avocado because I fucking hated avocado until like a few years ago. And now all of a sudden I fucking love avocado. I'm really all about it. It's fucking delicious. But I can actually find like comments on one of my favorite YouTubers videos where I'm like, oh, avocado, why do you eat that shit? And then like years later on, I'm like, I hate avocado. If you don't like avocado, you're a fucking tool. Yeah, that's right, I'm not wearing any pants. Who wears pants while they're filming? You only see me from the boobs up.